Okay, I thought I'd revisit the Frankford Arsenal Universal Seating Die. I'm loading up some 243 today, and lately I've been using these cards, and I put down steps that I'm at, like you know, cleaning, depriming, annealing. That way I don't lose track of where I'm at if I have to stop what I'm doing and go do something else for a little bit. Found it really handy. So we're gonna take some of this 243 brass, put it in the press, and we're gonna grab the universal seating die from Frankford Arsenal. The last time I used it, I loaded up some 223, so I gotta tear it apart and remove the seating stem and the bushing and put in the appropriate seating stem and bushing. So you're all gonna join me here, and we're gonna see how easy it is to change calibers and you know, run some ammo through this. So here's the 243 bushing. Now we got to pick out the appropriate seating stem, and we're gonna run some of this Hornady SST projectiles, 95 grain. So that's the projectile seating stem that I was using for the 223 projectiles. And it fits pretty good. And this is the second one, and the one that I actually choose to go with. You see there's a little bit of wobble, but remember, this is a universal, so like with anything universal, you don't get the best fit, but they do fit pretty good. So we're going to put the die back in the press. I'm going to start off here. Like I say, we're just rough setting this right now. Now you're going to see in a minute, I'd say it's a problem that I ran into with the seating stem and the bushing. See, I'm just kind of working the projectile down until it's close to where I believe it's supposed to be. So here's where we're at. And here's where we want to be. So let's just do a little math from where we're at to where we want to be. And that'll tell us about how much we need to adjust our die down. So there's our difference, 84 thousandths. So on the Frankford Arsenal, each rotation is 50 thousandths. So I went, needed to go 84, I went 80, and I thought I would be a couple thousandths off, but I was actually only 1 thousandths off. So there, we're pretty much right on. So after we get our cartridge overall length, I'm going to take the Hornady bullet comparator, and I got to take out the one that I was using for 223 projectiles. and replace it with the appropriate one for these 243 projectiles. And that's going to give me my cartridge base to ogive measurement. That is my preferred method of measuring. So then I take my card and I write that measurement down. And this measurement is with the Hornady bullet comparator. Make sure you remember the exact inserts you use, because they do change. You can't use, they're not interchange, they're not a universal like the Frankford Arsenal universal seating die. So let's run some more here and see what kind of consistency we get. And right there you can see the problem I'm talking about. You've seen the guide bushing is actually getting stuck on the seating stem. Now the seating stem in the Frankford Arsenal manual, this is the correct seating stem they recommend. And what I actually find is I'm wondering if maybe the die body is down too far. So I'm actually going to adjust the die up a little bit, and it's also just going to give me a chance to see how easy it is to get back to my desired seating length. Let's try a couple more, and you can see the stem and the seating bushing are stuck again. Just kind of pop it down, but this is when I decide to take it up just a little bit. Not sure if that's going to help, and it actually doesn't. Try again. So what's actually happening is the stem, the actual opening in the bushing for the projectile, you can see the stem's tapered, so it's actually just wedging itself in there. But take another measurement there. A couple thousandths off, so we just gotta take it down a little bit. So we adjust it down just a hair, 3/4 thousandths. Bushing is still getting stuck. Right on the money though. But after running a couple more, having that bushing get stuck like that, I realize I can't continue like this, even though the measurements are perfect. So we're actually going to take this die out, tear it back down, and try a different seating stem. There you can clearly see it's wedged up in there. So see, the case goes up, so the neck is sitting in that bushing, and then the seating stem aligns and pushes the projectile into the neck, but it's just getting wedged up in there. Right now I'm just kind of grasping at straws, and I say, let me turn it up once more, knowing that that's not going to fix it, but I just wanted to give it a shot. Right there, I'm like, huh. But that means I gotta take the seating stem back down, which is going to cause it to go back into the guide bushing and get stuck. So right there, it's stuck again. So it's time to see, the measurements are perfect, but we gotta tear this down and put a different seating stem in there. Okay, so let's take this. You can see I got my little helper there with me. He's telling me, you gotta change out that seating stem, Dad. So let's take this all apart again. Like I said, this is the seating stem that Frankford Arsenal said to use. There's the bushing. I got the correct bushing. As you can see, showing you right there that the seating stem goes into the neck of the bushing, and it can get wedged in there. Kind of wish they'd mark something right here, like a number 1, 2, you know, something like that. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. You can see that one seems better. And that's the one I'm gonna call number 1. So I end up labeling these, and that's number 1. The second one is number 2, and the short fat one is number 3. So I just put another cartridge back in there when it's already set to my depth that I've been doing previously, and just using it as a starting point. So let's see where we're at now. Okay, so with the new seating stem in, we're back on track. It's got plenty of room, doesn't hit that taper right there and get stuck. Like I said, I'm calling this number 1 seating stem, and Frankford Arsenal, I'll show you, they recommend the number 2 seating stem. Right there, I'm just fine tuning it now. That's the really nice thing with a micrometer seating die. So let's go ahead and load up all of these here, and we'll come back here in a minute. Okay, so let's look at the instructions here from Frankford Arsenal. You see, they're saying they're just calling them medium and short and longer seating stem. I think they should label them like 1, 2, 3, and then say hopefully they come up with more than these 3. I'm kind of just going through the seating stems and trying out the bushings and just kind of just looking at which ones fit good. And this is where I'm kind of seeing the drawback of this setup. I mean, they work, it still works and it's worth the money, but some of these seating stems and bushings don't go together, in my opinion. So this was just another run, me showing you the Frankfurt Arsenal universal seating die, and on my little card I'm done with seating the projectile, so I mark that off. And then I put a little spot for notes. So I'm going to put on here, use seating stem number 1 from Frankfurt Arsenal. Say these cards, I got this idea from F Class John on YouTube. See, it's just a little handy card I just make up. And then I do keep another binder with all my load info. So I do write all that in my binder, but these cards stay with the stuff I'm working on, be it brass, whatever, and it just keeps me on track as to what stage in the process I'm in. So just kind of grabbing some randomly here and checking. See, besides the glare. Trust me, they're all within a thousandths or so of each other, which is pretty good. Then I do double check case gauge. They all sit good. Go in, fall right out, nice and flush. So I'm gonna call this a success. Like I say, for the money, you can't beat this set. Yes, it's got its downfalls, but it is a must-have in your reloading arsenal. Well, thanks for watching, guys. See you on the podcast.